U-Score referees, we know it's hard to get you in the same room this time of year to have our preseason meeting, so I wanted to take this time to send this video out to you so we can be on the same page as we move forward. All right, the first thing I want to talk about is to be proactive. And what I mean by that is I want you to let me know as soon as possible the days and times where you have conflicts. This will help you to get a schedule for the entire season that I can lay out for you so you can have that and we don't have to chop and change too much. So please be proactive. Send me a list of days and times that you're unable to be there. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing that we want is for you to be punctual. All right, it's very important that you are not only on time to your kickoff, but at least 15 minutes early. Okay, being punctual is extremely important for our coaches, for our players, and we want our referees to take pride in that as well. The third thing is for you to be prepared. Okay, we want to make sure that you have a watch. We want to make sure that you have your whistle. We want to make sure that you're dressed appropriately, okay, with socks pulled up like a proper referee looks, so that you look the part. And so parents look out there and their first impression of you is, yes, they're on time and they're prepared to take care of my child during the course of this game. The fourth thing is to be professional. That means all the things we just talked about, all right, showing up on time, looking the part, making sure that you communicate properly with coaches before the game, that you are prepared and that you know the length of the game that you're about to referee, that you have the game card, that you've come inside to U-Score on your way out to the fields, that you've been professional enough to get those game cards, taking them to the fields with you so you can make sure that you know who you're coaching. It's got the coach's name on there, so you are as professional as possible as you step onto that field. The next thing is to be personable. All right, we mean that you walk up to a coach, that you're friendly with them, that you're cordial with them, and that right away that you show the coaches that you're on the same page with them to make sure that we have the most positive experience possible. It means that as you're walking up and you're passing players, you're passing parents, that you're friendly with them as well. All right, we want you to be personable and represent U-Score well at all times. The next thing that we want is for you to be protective. And what we mean by that is we would rather you call more fouls than not enough fouls. We're a young youth league with a lot of young players, all right? We want to make sure our reputation is that we are a safe place for kids, okay? So I know many of you played the game at a high level, and maybe what was called at your highest level at 16, 17, 18 years of age or into your 20s is maybe not something you would call for an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old, but we still are going to call those, okay? We have to teach them that, you know, pushing and tripping, those types of things are not acceptable, all right? And we have to make sure that we protect our players. We get more complaints from parents about their child not being safe than we do about the referee blowing the whistle too much. We rarely get that. So please just continue to think about protecting our players as best as possible. Next thing is to be patient. All right, we want to make sure that you are patient on the field and not so quick to react to any comments made by parents. As you guys know, we have an incredible parent group, okay, and they are pretty patient as well. If they get emotional, if they get heated, you know, again, just be patient in your approach to them. You don't have to talk down any parent that's always yelling. Just be a bit patient before you make a decision on how to respond. Eventually, yes, you need to be personable and professional when you respond to them at the right time, but be a bit patient in that. Don't be quick to throw out yellow cards or red cards or send parents to the parking lot. Let's make sure that we're creating a positive culture and a patient culture. The next thing is to be a part-time coach. And I know that sounds crazy, but when you're on the field as a referee, part of the time out there, you should be coaching. And what I mean by that is if you are calling a foul and you know that one team needs to back away from the ball, don't just stand there and wait for them to figure it out. Help them and talk to them. They're young players, they're learning the rules. Get them at a safe distance away from the free kick, all right? If it's a dribble in or a pass in or a throw in, depending on the level of play, make sure you explain that. Don't just blow the whistle and point. You can blow the whistle and say, you know, red ball, throw in this way. That's gonna help them, okay? So again, just be a part-time coach when you need to be. The last thing for us is for you to be precise. And what we mean by that is make sure you get the score correct, okay? We've had a few instances in the past where after the game, all of a sudden the referee has one score, one coach disagrees, be precise, all right? Write down the number of the player that scores the goals in those leagues where we're keeping score. Have that written down on your sheet. That way it's very easy to come back and say, this is what I had. Be precise with that. Make sure that after the game as well, you get the signature from the coach and the score is correct, and then you turn those in to the U-Score front desk afterwards. Okay, so thank you for taking the time to watch this. Again, I'm going to try to find moments throughout the entire season to sit down with you and go over how things are going and get your feedback. It's very important that our relationship between our coaches and our referees are very good. Between myself and Danny and all of you as referees is very good. So we'll follow up and be in touch, but we'll see you soon.